welcome to the stage Tammy Glied, co-chair of the Toronto MOL delegation, to introduce our next two special guests.
Thank you, Kasia. I am proud to introduce to you two amazing young professionals from Germany who have joined us this year on the March of the Living. I also consider myself lucky that I get to call them my friends, Toby Reckeweg and Stina Ulbrich. Both Toby and Stina were present at the last Nazi trial in Detmold, Germany, against SS Nazi officer Reinhold Hanning. They were both inspired and moved by the testimonies of my late father, Bill Glied, of blessed memory, of Max Eisen of blessed memory, and of Hetty Boehm, who is with us here tonight. Toby is from Bielefeld, Germany. When he discovered that he is the grandson of perpetrators, he made it his mission to fight against anti-Semitism. He continues today to fight against anti-Semitism and Holocaust denial in Germany. 7 years ago, he came to Toronto to interview 9 Auschwitz survivors for his master's thesis. Today, Toby is a teacher in Germany at the Theo Hespers Comprehensive School, ensuring that future generations understand and remember what happened so that they will never be able to deny what their country did. Stina is from Detmold, Germany. She was a high school student at the time of the Nazi trial. She skipped school to attend the trial and hear the testimonies of the survivors who came from all over the world. It was there that she met my daughter, and through her, my mother and late father. She is currently working at Birkenau Memorial, educating visitors of the atrocities committed there. She is also completing her master's in history and politics of the 20th century at a university in Jena, Germany. Stina was interviewed by Israeli media in 2019 during the last March of the Living and eloquently told them, "Only us, the youth, can stop anti-Semitism. Together, we can work on building an accepting community forever." Now please welcome Stina and Toby.
Good evening, and thanks for the honor to speak here. My name is Tobias. I'm from Germany, like Tammy introduced me, and I come from a family with convinced Nazis. When I was, I think, 20 years old, I went into the living room of my grandfather, and my grandfather himself volunteered to the Wehrmacht twice. The first time he was declined because of health issues, and he tried it again, and he fought in Russia. In these times, when I made some research about my own family history, he told me that in this time he was a convinced National Socialist, and he always made some research about his own family history, and there were a lot of pictures and photos of ancestors in his living room, and as a child I did not really notice them, but with 20 years I took a closer look, and 70 years after the war, there was still 2 photos of 2 men in SS uniforms. These were the 2 brothers of my grandmother. So, as far as I know, no one of them ever entered a concentration camp, but what I know is they were supporters of this system of death and destruction. So I made some more research, and one point on this journey was the trial in Detmold, where I met Bill Glied and his family, and that was the start of a close friendship to the Glied family, to the Jablonski family, and also to the Jewish community of Toronto. Like Tammy told you, I went to Toronto, made the interviews there, and had some very impacting and impressing meetings, also, for example, with Nate. At this time, in 2016, Nate signed a copy of his book for me, and he wrote it with the words, for keeping being an upstander, not a bystander, and that became some kind of my leading slogan for my work and fight against anti-Semitism. At this point, I decided it's not enough to educate just myself, but also to educate others. I just realized in 2016, through the interviews, how important it is to fight not just lack of education, but also the present time anti-Semitism. And so in 2019, I decided to wear in public a necklace with the Star of David, because I have many Jewish friends and I know that many of them are hiding that in public. So this is my little sign of solidarity. And I'm here for the second time of the March of the Living. Again, I found a lot of Jewish friends, and in connection to the words that Nate gave me, I want to make a little promise. As far as I can breathe, as far as I can raise my voice, I will stand side by side with you, with my Jewish friends. Thank you.
Dear participants of this year's March of the Living, dear survivors, dear staff, first of all, I would like to thank March of the Living and especially Tammy Glied for inviting me to be here, as well as the young adult delegation for having me this past week. I've been working in Holocaust education for the past 5 years now. One of the institutions I'm working for is the Memorial of the former concentration camp Buchenwald, where I primarily teach students in 5 to 9 hour-long seminars about the history of the camp, as well as the importance of Holocaust remembrance. I'm so grateful for everyone who has shared their story and their perspective with me over the past few days, and I hope that everyone here knows how special this experience really is. Most of my students will never get the opportunity to talk to a Holocaust survivor. For most of them, a world without first-hand witnesses is already a reality. Knowing we cannot replace our wonderful survivors, we have to find ways to make sure that their stories will not be forgotten. Most of my students have also never met a Jew. When they come across anti-Semitism, they often lack the knowledge and the experience with people from the community to dismantle it. We have to take the responsibility to educate ourselves, and I will bring back everything I've learned from all of you to my memorial. And I want to encourage you to keep sharing the stories of your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, but also your own stories. I want us to come together, learn from each other, and Jews and non-Jews to fight anti-Semitism in unison. I cannot change what my ancestors did to the Jewish people, unfortunately, but I want to listen, I want to learn, help working towards a future in which you and your families can live without fear. Thank you.
Thank you, Stina and Toby, for all the important work that you do.